in trouble. Like that man made two of the worst decisions I've ever made in Counter-Strike history in the same map. And that would explain a lot to why this team has been so poor, because I do think on an individual level, we have seen aspects of this squad which I've actually really enjoyed. Like, I think Neff is someone that towards the beginning we didn't talk too much about because of how good Ronan was, but he's definitely proven himself to, well, probably be the best player on this team.
Yeah, he's looking good as well. I think a couple of those players you pointed out definitely looking solid. Splashka on the AWP at times has had some good games. He's been a bit up and down for me. Generally, whenever your AWPer has a lower than 1 rating on HLTV, it's probably not great. And Splashka's sitting right there at that 0.99
especially if they only
mark.
Play in Asia as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit tough. But hey, we're starting on this Vertigo, which I just want to see more Vertigo, Tom. I haven't seen enough of it lately. I'm excited for Vertigo.
I like Vertigo in Europe. I don't like Vertigo in Asia because it's basically like day one Vertigo. Like and that's not an exaggeration.
But that can still be fun in its own way.
It can be, but when you see the same guy wide peak ramp 15 times in a half, you kind of go, oh, this isn't very intelligent. And it's the same all the way to the top. Like Tyloo exactly the same. It's just face after face on ramp. And then maybe once in the half, you'll see a team go towards the B side. Like it's not imaginative. Mid control is completely underutilized. And it basically just comes down to like one of those little DM maps where it's you on a slightly lower angle, them on a slightly higher angle. Who's going to hit the headshot first? Let's wait and see.
Well, we'll wait and see, Tom, because we are getting underway into Vertigo. HUAT again starting on that T side. I said earlier, they started on the T side just a week ago against ViCi. They only got 3 rounds on this map. That has to change here on their map pick, and they're already grouping up for this fast B play.
Yeah, they tried to fake out some footsteps into the A site at the beginning, but it didn't work. Nobody moved, and well, this has not gone amazingly well. They're in a 2 versus 5. They have dinked up Jam Young, but that's pretty much the only good thing we can talk about in this situation, as every single member of ViCi is either here or coming in on the flank. Now it's left on to Bulbasaur, who is not going to clutch this. 1-0 in favor of ViCi Gaming, and I suppose I can appreciate the fact that they try and fake out the footsteps, but I guess ViCi, they're just not going to fall for that. Like, why would they rotate anybody at this stage when they already know that they're the better players?
Yeah, you wonder whether that's the kind of thing that maybe works in their practices against some other teams, and then you try it against ViCi, and they're just going to sit there and say, okay, these steps don't mean much. We can just wait, and they end up getting all the kills at the end. So not a great start for HUAT. Good stuff from ViCi, though, and something I am a bit scared about for HUAT here is this is the kind of game I feel like Jamyeon could just style on them. He's got the skill to basically take on any of these opponents. He's absolutely got the ability to just take over this game, and he's already starting to do that early into this one. Another kill with the MP9. This time only against the pistols, though, so HUAT shouldn't be expecting too much of this round anyway.
They'll be getting the rifles in the next. They're going to try a B play again. I'm liking it. We're seeing some B presence thrown in. It's not going amazingly well. Advent, cheeky little one-way smoke under the box. He does eventually get overwhelmed, but it's not really going to matter. Jam Young has just made an insane amount of cash as well, and he's even going to retrieve the FAMAS at the end of it all. They could actually drop an AWP in this round, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So Kaze's now going to have his AWP. So as if it wasn't going bad already, you now have to face up against the AWP in round 3, which, sure, the rest of the buy isn't amazing, and it does mean that they don't have much bonus cash if they lose this round. But, you know what? I think Kaze is going to be all right.
Also, shout out to Jamyeon for dropping the AWP and then sticking with the MP9. That's a nice move, especially when he's meant to be the best player on the team. Gotta love that.
I guess it depends, though, because it's like, at least from what, but like, we are considering him the best player on this team, but Kaze has always been considered the best player on this team for a long, long time. So you never know when you talk to different players, like, oh, who's the best player on your team? They might name someone you're unsuspected of just because of their role within the roster. So he might not consider himself that, especially considering he's so young.
Wow.
See you later, Spiels. Oh, he not only gets tagged up by the first shot, but then gets wrecked through the wall onto the second. Kaze has taken a bit of damage in return. They've got some nades set up. It's actually not as aggressive as I thought it would be. Tyloo has put a pretty bad taste in my mouth from seeing them play this map a couple of times. And it was just repeak after repeak. I think Dan King has a screw loose, but he's very good at aiming.
He is. I was looking at the stats for Dan King. I don't know how he has the least deaths per round on his team, considering how he plays. It's kind of ridiculous. Alman, they're getting caught at short. The trade's not bad. Ronin Baby picking up a couple of kills onto the bomb site, but a 1v3 with 4 HP is not the best position to be in, and it's not one he's going to be winning. A couple of nice shots at least, a decent attempt at an approach from ViCi, but right now ViCi are just dominating.
Yeah, this is what terrifies me, is Kaze, 6 shot, gets stinked up as well through, but then after that he just styles on them pretty much all the way through the round. And there's no one on the other side that can match up. Like, you have some raw talent in the space of Ronin, but Kaze is past the point of raw talent. Like, this man now has experience under his belt. And yeah, in terms of the AWP battle, it's not even competitive. Like, there is no competition in this AWP battle at all. There is one who is probably the best AWPer in the whole region, and there is one who, well, is the best in his team, potentially. Like, I've not seen Ronin or Neff AWP too much. They might actually be better. Jam Young, bit of a wild spray, gets 2, and Ortman's actually gone down on the reface. Whoa! Okay, Bulbasaur. That's dirty. And they make something of this. Advent's going to try and reposition into the back of the B site. It leaves him in a bit of an awkward crossfire. That's the one thing about B that can become quite difficult once you lose mid control. Now, 2 of the players are desperately low. Bulbasaur has to be careful here because Zoking's starting to re-aggress into mid. And considering Bulbasaur has the bomb, okay, he is actually... Oh, no, he was going to fall back. He's decided to walk back into mid with the bomb on his own. Genius.
They can at least get the bomb back, I guess, because Zoking has backed away.
Oh, that makes it okay, then.
Well, look, Tom, I'm trying to find a positive, okay? I'm trying to find a positive in the play. It's very difficult. I'm trying my best.
That's wasted, like, a full 20 seconds for them to basically end up exactly where they were a minute ago. Neff has a chance to maybe turn this, though. Great shot onto the first. There's a second player here, though. They're just going to walk into Advent. A nice spray down, an AK save. Definitely not the round that they were hoping for, and he doesn't manage to save the AWP, so that's going to be a fairly costly rebuy. The initial spray from Jam Young was nice, but he just decided to spam the box. And this final shot from Bulbasaur was wonderful.
It gets it through the smoke. At the end here, though, as you pointed out, because HUAT had such little time, I think that's the only reason they jump up there. They might have just slowed it down if they still had that extra 10 or 20 seconds. But because they both go jumping up, Advent lines up a couple of easy kills. And we've got a couple of players out of the server right now. So we might take a little bit of time before heading into this next gun round. Something I am a bit worried about for HUAT is that in that first gun round, they didn't use any nades that really did anything to stop Kaze on that AWP angle over at A. And that angle is so strong. If you don't flash it, if you don't smoke it with the AWP, it's just a very long range angle that's very difficult to clear. It's a left eye peek for the T's as well. You've got to do something to deal with that angle. Otherwise, the AWP's just going to get easy kills there every time.
Yeah, you're sounding fairly hopeful with that, and I don't think that's going to change too much.
They tried to use a flash, it just didn't work. So maybe they at least know it's an issue, I guess.
That should be like the HUAT motto. HUAT. They tried to use a flash, but it didn't work.
Got to give them credit for trying, right?
You put that on their tombstone once they're eliminated from this. Oh wait, they're already eliminated, and ViCi already through. That's the thing. This match, it's not pointless because ViCi can move themselves a little bit higher up in the seeding, but that's all it's for. Like, if Checkmate win, then both of them are on 5, and well, if somehow HUAT win, then ViCi stay on 5. So maybe it will screw their seeding up a little bit. Like, they might move down to 5th in the group, but ultimately, like, ViCi's goals are to win. So if they get matched up against Tyloo early, they're going to have wanted to beat Tyloo anyway. Sure, maybe it'll mean they get less points, but we all know if Tyloo just keep winning every single one of these events, the points are meaningless. Like they will, you don't have to even look at the number. You just go, oh, they are through. Like that's it. So I kind of look at this as one of those things where ViCi, Tiger, they all know that the goal is to beat Tyloo anyway. So I don't think they're going to overly care about the seeding going forward. And to be honest, ViCi had a much closer game when they played versus Tyloo anyway. Like that was the game they almost won. I think it was versus Tiger, where they actually didn't even put up that much of a fight. I wasn't particularly impressed within that game. And then the worst one of all is obviously Checkmate beating them, which that was a huge surprise. Like, sure, Checkmate have been very, very good. They've also taken down Tiger as well, which we were thoroughly impressed with. Took a map off Tyloo. But to just straight up 2-0 ViCi, that came out of the left field. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I'm hoping that we are going to get Kaze back soon. I guess the only way to truly defeat him is to defeat him outside of the server. Maybe cut his internet cables. I heard that was in fashion previously. But, yeah, I don't know how long this is going to be. I wonder if good old Sebastian can tell me, is it a short one, or are we going to be throwing to a break? Okay, so it's a VPN issue. So hopefully that won't take too long. Just you know, VPNs are cheap. The thing I've noticed is they're one of those like VPN companies are one of those people who like, they always tell you that their service is really expensive, but then they always have 70% off. Like, you'll know this. It's DFS, isn't it? The sofa company that has a sale all year round. That's 50% off only for 4 more days, and then 4 more days, and then 4 more days, and and it goes on for eternity. Like, if you're the one dude that went into DFS when it's not a sale, that's a miracle. So yeah, just buy a new VPN. Either way, we're going to also play around with some stuff behind the scenes. And by that, I mean probably go to the toilet. And you know what Dinko's been doing. But we'll be back after a short break. Hopefully everything will be sorted. Well, it seems like Dinko got things sorted a little bit faster than many people would have expected. So we are going to be getting back into the match. ViCi obviously 4-0 up. The AWP has been repurchased, obviously lost in the last round. And, well, we're now waiting to see if HUAT can get themselves onto the board. They've got a purchase once again. AKs galore. No counter AWP just yet, which might be something they bring in a little bit later on. But they're going to attempt a fast rush up towards the ramp, just taking full control. They've left the bomb behind, interestingly. So if they do manage to take here, they're not going to be able to plant it. And their flanker has died as well. So it's not even... All right, Kaze. It's not even like anybody's going to pick it up on the way back through. There's nobody there, so just going to have to kill everyone. And it's not gone too badly for the start. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Kaze's decided that he would burn himself to give them a chance and then kill them all anyway.
It was nice of him to give them a chance. Nice shot from Bulbasaur as well onto the A site. Ronin might be caught in the back now. They will have heard him running away there. So as he moves into the A site, Alman has just got him trapped in. They know it's going to be an A play. They're still trying to work around these smokes. Ronin getting up close, but Advent's on the edge of it. Oh, those shots somehow not getting the kill, but he finally finds what he was looking for. And Bulbasaur, after landing that nice shot earlier, has got 3 more players to try and deal with, and he won't be able to do so. 3K in the round for Advent, 5-0 lead for ViCi, and another round that didn't look great from HUAT side.
Yeah, well, that's always going to be the case, though, when you have to spend a good 10 seconds going back to get the bomb after you've thrown all your utility. It just starts to fade. Also, the smoke, like, giving a lot more space to Kaze than maybe they would have wanted to. And then Advent obviously just looking to try and deny the plant here. And they didn't even need their flank. Like, the fact is, that round was never going to go their way because Orman was in, ready and waiting for them. Peek out, I like it, using the little pixel angle beside the box. And it was something Dinko mentioned in the pre-show that on this map is where they almost let loose some of the players which are in their system. This is something I always notice with teams that Blade have. If you ever watched players on Blade's teams play on other teams, they were so much better in terms of individual skill. Like I think it was WSG.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
But yeah, WSG World Edit. He dropped like 38 kills or something in a map. Oh, just because he wasn't playing under the system anymore of Blade. He was just being allowed to be more aggressive. And it seems like they're allowing their players to be a lot more aggressive here. Easy few entries. Splash K and Neff, the only ones remaining. And all going great.
Definitely not looking too good for them. Again, the bomb is behind them. So even though that smoke is up, he might not have much of a chance. Neff almost getting 2 kills there, but Splashka was nowhere near, so he wasn't able to get that trade. Maybe if he was closer by, they could have a chance, but now there's 3 players against Splashka and limited opportunities for him. This kill could come through, blinded by the flash, but he gets it anyway. Splashka looking for more, but Zokin gets him in from above. A lot of A plays here for HUAT in these recent rounds, but again, just leaving the bomb behind is seemingly the biggest problem for them right now.
I don't know. I think the biggest problem for them is that they're not as good as the players on the other side.
That's also a problem. But they actually could have had a chance in this 2v5 if they had the bomb with them. Because then they would have at least had the chance to trade and whatever. It's alright.
I love how they're leaving the bomb further and further behind as the rounds go on. So, like, it was on ramp, now it's all the way back in spawn. You know, in Counter-Strike, you don't need the bomb, right? Don't need the bomb.
And if you're good enough to kill everyone, that can work. But I don't think they're good enough to kill everyone.
No, they have got an entry. Again, we're talking about Neff being the sort of highlight player here. Bulbasaur tries to go for the same peak he did before, but obviously that hasn't worked the second time. They're actually going to set up a nice little flash as well. In fact, 2 different flashes to try and find these kills. Oh, they're so blind. Zoking's wrecked them both. And Spiels, he's managed to get himself an M4. He has also gone back to retrieve the bomb. Well done, Spiels. Unfortunately, he has 1 kill, 21 HP, and 3 players to find. And surprisingly, he didn't win.
No, he did not. 7-0 down. I think this is where I'd like to see HUAT pressure that B site. You know that Advent is the B site anchor. You know that he, at times, can have some bad games just individually as the IGL for this ViCi team. You'd expect him to be the weak point on the defense. It's also nice seeing a flash come in from Zoking there. Just a very simple flashbang, but whenever you see a nade used effectively in these games, I'm a happy man, personally. So good kills coming in. And let's see what HUAT have up their sleeve in this round. Still no AWP for them, which is something you pointed out previously. And there is a bit of B aggression early. Advent playing up close could get mollied out of position here, but Bulbasaur's blinded for such a long time by his own flash first, then by their flash. That's not great.
This is their map choice.
I know.
And he doesn't know it flashes. Oh, God. I don't know why you wouldn't just pick something more simple, if I'm being honest. Especially because I think they played this team 2 other times on this map, and they've lost both times. Maybe they just think they'll lose worse on other maps, but, well, there ain't nothing worse than 7-0, other than 8-0. And as of right now, well, you never know. Maybe they're about to break the trend. Advent's been caught out. Hello. Few individual plays. Neff's come up trumpets as well. This is wonderful. It's all based off individual skill. ZAI now, 1 versus 3. He's going to walk right into Ronan, but Ronan maybe caught sleeping a little bit. Oh, he's even going to check behind him. ZAI's on point at the moment. 12 and 3, looking for lucky number 13, but not quite going to do it. It will be the side of Splash K and Co. that managed to get them through the round. And actually, because of some of these rounds being a little bit closer, there's not that much cash.
That's a surprise, isn't it? That's a nice surprise for HUAT, though. So here's this flash. I mean, I don't know why he's looking at the flash, to be honest. It doesn't go...
It's so much worse. It's so much worse the second time. What was he even trying?
I guess he was trying to throw it over the wall, is my only thought. But I still think that would have blinded him. Either way, Kaza's still got the AWP, so we can't count ViCi out.
Wait. But how throwing it over the... How would that benefit him in any way?
Oh, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
Like, even if he threw it over the wall and there's someone on the other side, he can't kill them.
He's not
What's the point of the flash?
Maybe just to put pressure on the map, Tom.
Honestly, I think he was trying to bounce it off that wall to blind someone if they're in the corner. Nice work from Spiels, though. This round is pretty damn close, but it's still come out with a man advantage, and Jam Young's just trying to keep himself safe, wait for the IGL of Advent. Rotate in. Oh, Splash K. Had a bit of a step up over the last few rounds. 7 and 7. Obviously not wanting to let this one slip away, especially because this was a force buy based off fairly poor finances. Seems like he has a decent idea of where one of these players is going to be. Spotted out Jam Young. Is actually going to reface. I don't know if he'd expect Advent to be in this corner, though. The peek up. Both players whiffing, and Splash K will get the drop on him in the end. It's not pretty, but it's still a second round for HUAT. And actually, ViCi, they're going to have to take an eco.
Well done by Splashka winning that clutch. I mean, I guess at this point, if you're HUAT, you don't really care how you win the rounds. I've said this a couple of times, Tom. You never agree with me. But getting the wins is good for HUAT. We can all agree on that. Splashka here winning this clutch. I do think this second fight is one he shouldn't have had so long to take. But Advent with the MP9, not able to win that one. And now with the AKs, HUAT have a great advantage in this round. Splashka seems a bit confused by something. It's all good, though. HUAT are just going to hold back and spot for that early aggression. There's such little to work with for ViCi here. Normally on Vertigo, if I'm on this sort of round, I love just buying a Zeus and getting into that ladder room, because I feel like way too often you can get kills there. But I don't think ViCi have gone for that. Just the one Deeg really bought by them. Bit of an annoying angle to deal with, though, this one.
Yeah, they're trying to almost bait him in. It's a headshot angle, so, well, I guess if he lands the headshot, that's exactly what he needs, and Spiels is actually going to manage to get the kill there instead. Not really much else to play into this round. Nade is going to go forward, and because of that, well, Kaze tries to push, and they are just sectioning off these remaining players. You can see Orman just trying to hide within the headshot angle. They're actually sending an AK in here alone.
He's got to wait. Didn't look pretty, that fight, for either player. Spiels is fine. He's got away safely. And we shouldn't see too much going down at the end here. So HUAT are getting a couple of rounds on the board. That's good to see. I don't think it's really come down to much tactically for them. As you pointed out, I think it was more just the individuals really shining in some of these rounds. But you take that if you're HUAT at this point.
Ooh.
Nice shot from Advent as well. There's a player up close who's also low. Oh, they just haven't cleared him though. Spiels is reloading. The Glock comes out, and that means Advent can actually get a third kill. The Deeg is still in his hands. He's got a chance to do even more damage, but finally, Splashka puts an end to the madness.
That's one of the worst. That's one of the worst kills. I can't believe. I really want to see that last battle again. That was he was falling there. Yeah, I think he was. But this was very nice shot. Spiels. How? How? I think I genuinely think I could have put Golden over 2 in that situation and they would have got that kill. That is atrocious. And that cost them so much. That's 3 guns that have just been dropped alone by Advent. You're getting wrecked by Advent with a Deagle, man. We've been talking recently about potentially him retiring to a coach position, and he's currently slapping you into the ground. Zoking, he knows his pre-fire angles, and they've done a hell of a lot of damage already in the early stages of this round. We're going to see the same execution once again. That they haven't mollied him.
Which is surprising.
I'm hoping that they're just saving that for in a moment when they actually push. If not, then... Yeah, okay. So that's Zoking pushed into a more awkward position. That makes sense. Actually going to pop flash himself back in. His flashes have been fantastic. Obviously, Roden clearly helping out a little bit with the kill onto Spiels. But there's still a couple of low players. Jam Young's actually going to wide peek out. He spotted 2 of them. The repeat, though, gives Kaze the angle. He's currently boosted up on the back box, but Nef's going to spot him out, keeping things relatively even for now. They are going to get into an after-plant position. Nef's also going to find one through the smoke. He's giving this a damn good go, and Orman, oh, whiff city.
Yeah, Nef gets the ace at the end there. It's wreaking havoc in that round. Jam Young not having the best fight, falling off the box. Nef just slowly racks up all those kills, and HUAT get another round on the board. They're starting to find some success here. It's not even been Ronin who's really stepped up for them. It's Nef, who we talked about a little bit. Splashka has been up there at the top of the board for the team. And these are all these fights for Nef. Just a bunch of 1v1s, a kill through the smoke. All going swimmingly for him in this round. And then at the end, Jam Young just falling down. Was not able to win that fight. I still think ViCi have a chance with the pistols in this round, but they have started to lose control of this game. Considering how dominant the start was as well, this is a pretty good comeback for HUAT so far.
I think the thing I'm disappointed in is that ViCi have stopped being proactive. That was one of the things that was really working for them, was just taking away ramp control and not allowing HUAT to just have it for free. And then the last few rounds, they've just allowed them to have it for free, which I don't understand why you would do that. Even if it's just to find a pick initially, like off the back of someone like Kaze, I'm fine with that, and then fall back. But instead, you're just allowing them to get this full execution and forcing you into awkward positions. And then you see a lot of the players on ViCi just taking really risky peeks, like having to almost, to try and get in on the retake. Advent, well, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but he's probably been the best player so far for this squad, but it's not gone too well from this round. Kaze is going to pick one off with the Deeg. He's trying to check his flank, and Spiels will be holding the angle ready for when he repeaks. It's left all onto Zoking with his masterful 5-7. But HUAT, they've got it back to 5. They're doing better than last time, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Just grinding out these round wins. This is where Kaze gets back onto that trusty ult, though. And as you were saying, Tom, I think they just need to let him take a fight at ramp to start with, because in the earlier rounds, he was just winning that ramp fight pretty much every time. There is now an AWP on the other side, though, so that's something they would have to be ready for. And Kaze is not going towards A, slightly switching up his positioning in towards mid. No one here from the other side of the equation, though, although, as I say, that Splashka actually is coming for the fight, and Kaze is one step ahead of him. The AWP battle again going the way of Kaze, and the man advantage back on track for ViCi thanks to that man.
I'm glad that they've started to finally be a bit more proactive again. As I said, like without ramp, I'm not really expecting too much from HUAT in this round. Sure, they went into the B site a couple of times versus pistols, but in the actual rifle rounds, they've mainly just been facing into A. And while losing Splash K early on, he's been one of the danger men. Neff's going to do a little bit of damage to himself by jumping off.
Ronan takes the AWP as well. You said earlier you don't even know if Splashka's the best AWPer on the team. We'll get a chance to see if Ronan's got something to do with it.
Normally you do see these young stars have some pretty tasty AWP skill. Spiels is going to take a tag as well. They're probably going to need Ronan to do something here. And this is the amount of information that's already there. They're able to rotate players off. Ronan's going to get wrecked without even seeing anyone. And it's just so valuable to have the ramp. There's so much information being gathered up by ViCi in this round. There was no chance for HUAT to ever win this. And that's what was peculiar to me. They had basically a setup that worked. They moved away from it. They lost 5 rounds. They go back to it. They win another round.
And there is the round confirmed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Especially when you have Zoking on your team. Because you know that Zoking just wants to push anyway. Let's be real. Seen this man play. He always wants to take fights. He's good in those aggressive spots. So it's definitely a sort of position you think would be suited to him, pushing into that ramp. I will say, Advent is playing that close position behind the half wall on B very often. I feel like if ZAI were aware of that, you can just molly him out pretty easily and get that kill, potentially. I also think, in general, I wouldn't mind just some faster B plays on these gun rounds from ZAI, but they just haven't shown the same ability with the nades over at B, and that means they're going back to A, where Kaze has been forced away early, so the ramp control could be here, and Zoking is missing hard. He only gets 1 kill for his troubles. I guess at least he gets 1 kill for his troubles, but that is the ramp lost.
Well, Kaze is going to be re-aggressing. Maybe looking to try and gain that control back, and the T's have to go get the bomb again.
Look at how exposed B is right now for the CTs.
I think it's just Advent like half checking it. It's a bit risky. I'm not a big fan of this, but I guess they've had to fill the holes for losing Zoking. He's normally the man that likes to rotate back through and check mid from afar on the A site. But they're going to build into this now. Advent's re-pushed into this position, but he doesn't know that someone's already crossed out. However, well, I was about to say Neff doesn't hit the initial shots, but he manages to correct his aim. Kaze has found another one. Jam Young. He's got an incendiary, but he's not going to be able to deny the plot. He's just going to try and force him off of the angle. And in fact, the incendiary's missed. It's not cleared the position at all. But Splashka's going to walk into it anyway. And now Jam Young's going to try and make this play seemingly on his own. His teammates have finally made the rotation. Splashk will get 1, but that will be all. 9-5 in favor of ViCi, rectifying a few of the problems and basically just winning some of the duels. And well, for the last round, unfortunately, HUAT aren't actually going to have that much cash.
Yeah, we can see maybe Galils, some AKs potentially being dropped between the players. I am a bit surprised that Zoking was just left pretty much alone on the ramp aggression this time. He's still got a kill and some damage, so the nade that came through was able to give ViCi the man advantage, so it worked out okay in the end for them. And there is indeed just that 1 AK picked up ahead of this round for ZAI. Arguably more importantly, though, they have almost no nades in this round. So that A execute isn't going to be happening. It might just have to be the pressure onto the B site that we're already seeing. Now Advent needs to be a little bit careful here, getting aggressive. If he's not aware of these angles, he could go down early. Are they going to molly him? No. It's gone to the backside.
Don't worry, I've heard they've got a really good pop flash for this angle. They've got to check this, right? Yep, they'll get him eventually, but it just gives enough space to Ormond to clear this out. Rifles at least will be retrieved. Ormond's done so much in this round. And Bulbasaur, well, he's been slowly upgrading his gun all the way throughout the round. That's a ceiling.
He was here in the steps.
Yeah, but I'm gonna blow your mind here, Hawker. You don't need to look at the step where the steps are. You can just work out where they're coming from.
Wait, you're telling me you don't hear with your eyes?
Yeah, no, I must be skilled, gifted, you could say.
Oh,
I'd like to see how you're wearing your headphones. It must be very difficult to commentate this match if you've got one cup over each eye.
didn't really think about that.
20 seconds left. Bulbasaur, 27 HP. A player on each side. Kaze's going to peek out, dig him up through the wall, as if it wasn't bad enough, and he's running out of time. The other player's just waiting for him to go for this plant. This is a free kill.
Good half.
Even...
No. Okay, it took some time. Kaze somehow got that kill in the end there. But you know what? They got the round. 10-5 for ViCi. A little bit better than HUAT's previous performance I was talking about. They get 2 more rounds out of their T half. It still didn't look great for them, if we're being honest. But they are still in this game somewhat.
Yeah, I think there was just like a blip on the radar for ViCi where they sort of started giving them more control than they needed to. I don't know if that was just the trying out a few different things, but it didn't really work. Went back to what was working, started taking back map control, and basically just went back to it looking fairly easy. Now they go straight in for a mid pistol. I like this. I always like teams that utilize mid control. It's something that's fairly underused on the map of Vertigo. Even at some of the higher levels of Counter-Strike, it's the same thing. Like, teams love ramp, even love a B rush, but they don't really utilize mid enough for my liking. Jam Young gonna pick off another 2, and he's even gonna close it. Nice quad kill for the pistol round. 19 for him now in the server, and HUAT probably gonna force.
I'm right there with you, though, on the mid control, though, on the T side of Vertigo. I think it was NIP who really started using the mid control quite a bit, I think a few months ago, and they really started to shoot up on Vertigo. It started to become a really good map for them, because I think they were one of the few teams that actually used that mid control pretty well, especially in a pistol round like that. You can run up mid so easily and get towards the B site. I just think that's a really solid way to just start your T half. And there's actually no force buy for HUAT side, Tom. They've decided to save heavily, potentially to try and buy into the next round, but that means this one will probably be a whitewash.
Yeah, interesting that they're going to opt to play the next round with, like, obviously a lot less utility. In fact, Splash K's bought a lot more than I would have expected. Maybe he'll get a kill here, and that will at least make a little bit of the money back. No, never mind. But yeah, he's going to play with an extra 2,400. So his buy will be, what, 3,900? So he can get a rifle, Kevlar, and then maybe like a flash.
You can get away with going for the SMGs on Vertigo.
I'm just going to go for a FAMAS.
No, a FAMAS. I almost would just prefer an MP9 to play close, personally. But hey, each their own.
Yeah, I think he had to go for at least something to allow him to get utility because he bought so much. But that's the thing that's irritating to me is, like, you could have just had a rifle and not bought the Deeg. Like, if you're going to do this, I'd rather you focus on the buy rounds unless you genuinely believe that you were going to get 2 kills with that Deagle. But we'll see. The T's, they've still got mostly rifles and an SMG. Most of that utility's already been expended just to try and deny this initial ramp take, which is not necessarily a bad thing. They haven't actually gained any control over it. So they're basically just thrown a load of utility down. And Ronan looks lost. I'll be honest. Like, he doesn't even look like he knows where he should be playing. Like, he just keeps, like, turning around, switching angles. Like, it looks like a bit of a fidget, potentially. King, well, he spotted out his opponent. That'll be a freebie for him. He does get dinked up in the process. And Ronan has managed to find one. He's going to wide peek after his teammates go down. And he manages to drop the bomb. I'm not sure how he gets away with that, but he's at least evened things up.
Yeah, ZAI had to be a bit careful as well because the bomb was dropped and he was alone here. But elsewhere, the pressure on the B site could be the difference maker. Alman gets that kill. And with ZAI bringing the bomb over to B, he should beat Ronan, who was flanking him the entire time. Ronan finally slows down, and that means ZAI will be safe to get this bomb planted. And at this point, even though HUAT are trying to stick together, without the kit on this retake, it's very unlikely, and you can already see they've actually called off this round. So the decision to go for this early buy, not paying off for them. And at this point, ViCi might just get out to too big of a lead. It's about to be 13-5, And as a reminder to anyone who's just tuned in, this is HUAT's map pick.
Yeah, and we haven't really worked out why.
That's the thing. Even in that previous series against ViCi that we were talking about, they actually played it kind of close on Inferno that ViCi picked. They played that 16-11. That's not bad against ViCi. But this Vertigo just hasn't looked great.
Yeah, it's a map that they played against a few of the bigger teams. The problem is with ZAI, I feel like even with us to an extent, nobody really takes them seriously. So like when we saw them lose 16-14 to Tyloo were wide peeking out on A with the bomb. Like even on the scaffolding side of it, like they would just individually run in with the bomb and peek. They did not care about that match. ViCi, again, I think they've been playing this a lot looser than we'd normally see of them, and they've beaten them on it multiple times. And the only win they have is versus Sigma, who is one of the other teams that's already eliminated, and that was a 16-14. So it's not like this is transferable. Like, oh, you lost 16-14 to Tyloo, so you're gonna smash Sigma, right? No, you also won 16-14 versus Sigma. So I think that a lot of teams just play a little bit more loose, a little bit more crazy. Like you can even see here, like Orman's just going for solo peaks. Like he's normally the lurker on this side of the map, which is fair enough, but I don't think you'd see him just be wide peeking like this and just taking risky fights. But they know that they've got this in the bag. If they need to, they have strategies to fall back on. It's not quite like Tyloo where they just go, yes, now I start hitting my headshots better. It's more, they actually have a plan in a lot of these rounds. Neff getting aggressive. Ronan did manage to get the first kill. Actually, he's managed to pick up another one. We can see the individual skill of this youngster is definitely still there, and he's taking some risky fights, but he's getting away with them. He's found 3. It's left on to the man, the myth, the legend, Advent. 1 versus 2. Both players with pistols. Splashgate in the corner, but Mr. Cerebral. No, Mr. Cerebral! You meant to check that! Oh.
He looked so ready. It looked like he was going to clear the corner, and then it looked like he just forgot about it a second later. Bit of a shame for Advent there, because it would have been a free kill against the USP, but how about Ronan? Really good shots with the AK. A lot of these kills basically happening on the first few bullets. Snappy aim from the AK, and then Splashka couldn't believe his luck as he got this double dink from the back. 6th round win for ZAI, and again, some promising signs from some of these players. This is what we talked about from them. They have definitely got a couple of potentially good players here. So at least we're seeing some of that come through for them, but it definitely feels like ViCi at any point could just turn it up and get this win.
Oh, fast play through middle once again. Spiels has started off strong. Orman has just ruined them alongside Jam Young. Advent's found another, and now it's left all onto Ronan. This is what I mean. It's like they lose a round and they just instantly just step up. And which one of those was the young gun, 17 years old with ridiculous aim? Because I'm going to be honest, it looked like Advent in that situation.
Yeah, Advent was angry.
He's 17 and 11 right now.
Played pretty well.
He's currently out-fragging every single member of ZAI.
He's out-fragging his Star Rauper as well in Kaze.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I feel like Kaze hasn't really had that much to do, because a lot of the time it's been other players getting aggressive. Like, he had something on the CT. They're just running through Molotovs. Yeah.
Ooh, well, at least ZAI can hit these shots when they're basically being gifted them. Even then, Jam Young's still able to fight back for ViCi. The bomb's coming onto the B site. Yeah, they've got a really good chance here. Molotov can go down. Advent has another molly and a smoke, which could be useful to slow down this post plant. The real issue is, can they deal with this flank of Neff? They put that molly down. Here's the smoke being lined up from Advent as well, but they're sticking on the bomb site for the post plant.
I think this duel between Advent will eventually come up versus the SMG is probably going to be the biggest, most important one. Jam Young, he loves his little spam, doesn't he? He's being pushed. Okay, Neff. I appreciate it. He's just going to go running and jumping. Yeah, I feel like Jam Young, that's the 3rd time in this match now where he has spammed either a smoke or a wall or something. He's run out of ammo and it's got him killed. I feel like he needs to be a little bit more safe with his ammo. Like, this is what, so he just seems to spam extra bullets. Like, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then he just spams a load, and then because of that, he runs out of ammo, and that gets him killed. Like, if he just didn't spam the smoke, he would have been fine. And if that happens once, maybe even twice, I'm like, okay, fair enough. He just thought it was in the smoke. But that's now the third time that he's died to the same thing.
Oh, I thought Kaza might have seen the man crossing for a second there. Small gaps to work with over the top of the smoke, though. ViCi have been really pummeling this B site in these last couple of rounds. They might do the same again in this one, with plenty of players waiting outside the B stairs. I haven't seen the M4 Griffin in such a long time. That's what Bulbasaur's rocking right now. And again, as you said, Alman playing this aggressive B style. Normally, you probably wouldn't see him play like this, but he's happy to try and take fights. ViCi are now going back over to the A side, so we might see one of these executes onto the A site itself. Molotov already going into the sandbags, a couple more nades being prepared as we speak. ViCi still continuing to play this round patiently, a bit of a slowdown after some very fast rounds previously.
Oh, flashbang's coming over the top. Ronan has managed to kick things off with the kill onto Orman on the B site. One will be planted, and Kaze at the sandbags. Could be quite a difficult player to clear. Hasn't spotted anything over the top of the smoke. Obviously, the X-ray giving us slightly more vision than he has. Now that the smokes are fading, he might be able to find himself a pick or two here. Advent already finding another. He's going for the top fragger in this match by the looks of it. Having an incredible game, but now Kaze starts to style on them. It's left all onto Spiels, and Zoking will close out the round. His 21st kill still sat right at the top, just behind Jan Young. Now, unfortunately, the finances are gone for HUAT once again. An interesting map choice, and one that, well, they've done better on in the past, that's for sure. In fact, it seems like their results versus ViCi on this map are getting consistently worse. They lost 16-13 to them during DreamHack Open Summer. They lost 16-9 to them in the Fun Spark event. And now, well, this is looking like a 16-7. So, well, next time, 16-5, I guess?
If we keep going like this, yeah. Got to confirm the 16-7 first, though. Pistols for most of the HUAT players.
It's the 4 Deegs. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about the 4 Deegs?
What is this? Some dumb thing Mitch has come up with? Sounds like it.
Maybe. Yeah, it is. Basically, his formula is if there's 4 Deagles, they'll win. But then it started getting changed to like, oh, it only works for the top teams. I think that was Dinko, but obviously Dinko likes to sit on the fence. So, no conviction in that man, it seems. But we'll see. Neff taking some damage. God, it just swings. It just swings with the AWP. They are gonna retrieve the bomb on their way into the B site. Bulbasaur is ready and waiting. Nice shot. A second one coming up for him as well, and he's retrieved an AK. Whoa! What is just this? What? How's that come out? He's gone from having 7 kills to getting 4 in 1 round. They've got to be careful, though, because Jam Young is an absolute machine at times. Robot aim. And definitely clinical in this game so far. But it's not going to happen. It's the 4 Deegs. There you go.
It's come true. I mean, it helped that they just got delivered an AK here. Bulbasaur, I guess, ordered an AK and it arrived just on time. Got dropped right onto him. This transfer, though, superb. Whips over to the second headshot with the AK. And again, ViCi's money is broken. So it has to be almost nothing. Now, in this one, ViCi only have the 1 Deagle. So I assume they won't win this one, right?
Who knows? Who knows? We've seen rounds for Glocks. Doesn't look like it's happening this time. Maybe they are going to do better. Very slightly. But only because of the slip-ups of ViCi more than anything else. Orman left 1v4. I think if he wins this, Blair will have his clip of the day. Unfortunately, no clip this time. He might have already taken it with that horrific flashbang that came up earlier.
That was special. I do feel like we're just going to see ViCi go for an A execute to close out this game, because HUAT didn't really have an answer for it the last time we saw it come out from ViCi. It's not even a perfect buy here, but they've made sure to get a fair few nades in the mix. Advent finally buying a Galil, and they've got plenty of nades if they do want to go for that A-sided execute, which looks somewhat likely right now. A couple of players going over to A, but HUAT fighting for the ramp this time. We haven't seen too much of this from HUAT so far. They've got the AWP here, they've got the AK up close. Neff has a chance to make some magic happen in behind him. He gets one freebie, they're not turning round. He gets two for free before finally being traded. And with Kaza finding that further kill, ViCi end up winning those trades at A.
Yeah, that's almost impressive. The fact that they didn't even check one of the corners. They lose two players to it, and they still come out on top on the trades. You kind of have to wonder what the other players are doing. I like the nade stack. I think they needed one more to kill off Kaze, but the bomb's gone down. It's still going to end up in an after-plant position. AWP going to be retrieved by Kaze once again, so back to the old faithful now that he's managed to get that down. And the time is ticking. They do have to get going. 24 seconds. Oh, that's awkward for Spiels. He switches out. He's going to get in there with the AWP. Stuck in. Actually takes a pot shot at his own teammate. And while in the end, it doesn't matter. It's the same score as last time. ViCi are going to win this one 16-9. And it